Sure.
1 2 1 2 1 2
3434
5656.
7878. He's gone again. Okay. He must have changed his setup. Okay. So anyway, good morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and the website. And we'll be with you in about approximately 17 seconds. Okay. Hopefully by then Peter will be back and the Three Musketeers can actually start the show. There's always hope. Okay. So I'm going to hide the card. No. Morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen.
Right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 311. And joining us from Aberdeen in Scotland, using XSplit VCam, which is the only thing I can see at the moment.
Yeah, it made me upgrade mine before we went live.
Good. Well, that's just to make sure you. Yeah, I mean, it's good that they do the checks every so often. And Peter, I can only see your logo. I can. Right. Okay. I think Peter had to register as well. Morning, Peter.
Good morning. It never come up. I've not registered. No time. I've been busy. Anyway, I'm here.
Good. And you can hear us. Okay. And we say good morning to Wiltshire, and we say good morning to Roland. Good morning, Roland. It's a dark grey day today in Wiltshire, even in Warminster, I hazard to guess. So good morning, Roland. Right, anything happening?
Yes.
Anything going on?
Yeah. I don't know if you know, but I've had the after effects of COVID, and I had to get in touch with the doctor through the night the other night, and I've got something called COVID eye. Have you heard of it?
Can you describe?
Yeah.
The problem?
Put me full screen.
Just a minute. I can put you full screen, Peter.
Please, sorry.
Okay. It's all yours.
There you go.
Oh, right. Okay. So,
this is called COVID eye, and after you've got COVID, I was doing well, and then all of a sudden, I had a bit of a sore head, and my eye was bump, my right one, and my eyes were red raw, and I couldn't sleep. So I phoned the doctor through the night. We've got a fantastic, well, I've got to say to you, we had a fantastic service. Phoned during the night, and the lady answered the phone. It was brilliant. Then they passed me to the northeast of Scotland, and they got back, and they asked me to take a picture of my eye, and he congratulated I'm getting an echo. He congratulated me on my picture of my eye. It was so good. What's that in the background? Sorry, I hear something. Anyway, so I done that, and he come back and he says, yeah, it's a name for it. It is a common thing, but it's called COVID. So, but it's actually got worse because I was getting eye drops, and the top bit of my eye I was bruised, but now I've got these styes in as well. It's actually worse than having COVID. There you go. Back to you.
Well, your right eye and your left eye look both the same.
Well, they're not. If you look in, yeah. So, and seemingly it's quite common for people to get it. And I also felt my skin tingling, and it also could be done with dermatitis. But there you go. But the doctor said, he says, yeah, and I looked it up on the internet, and it is one of those things, you know.
Right. And how long did they say how long it will last?
No, he says if it doesn't go away, get back in touch. But do you know who get it a lot? Women using mascara, because it infects their eyelid. And this
right.
So you get something to wipe it, but it is uncomfortable. I mean, I woke up this morning with it at 4 a.m, but I'd done a bad thing last night as well. I bought some. Oh, what's the name of that? Clotted cream. I bought a tub of it and I ate the lot. And Sheila says, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm happy." I wasn't. I wasn't happy at 4 in the morning, guys. I can tell you.
Was it clotted cream from Devon?
I'm not sure if it was clotted cream, but it was clotted cream, and I just couldn't stop eating it. I've got an addictive for sweetness yogurt and well, I won't be buying clotted cream again. And we've banned big tubs of yogurt. We're only buying little tubs of yogurt from now on.
Okay, over to Roland, and Roland is saying the sun always shines in Wiltshire. It's just that there are sometimes clouds in the way. That's one way of putting it. Okay.
That's 3 people I know from Wiltshire.
Indeed. Who's the third?
Well, there's a guy, an ex-tank crew member of mine, and he lives there. Same place as you, I think. And he works, I think he's a manager at the local DHL depot now.
Oh, right. Okay. It's a small world.
Very small. I nearly met him. I was a street above him in Edinburgh this year.
Yeah.
And he was in the street below, and he put out a post at the same time. And I was fuming I didn't meet him. Anyway, that's Aberdeen for you. And I'm back on the bike.
Yeah, back on the bike indeed. And we're back walking. We've done. We decided at the beginning of the year we'd go for a walk every day.
Yeah.
And today is the 27th, and I've managed 26 walks so far.
Very good.
Which is very good. Yeah. And the Fitbit's happy. Strava. I got Strava.
Yes, I'm on Strava.
Yeah, I must find you because I was on my walk for many years.
Yes.
But it stopped working properly. It record the time, it record where you'd been, but it wouldn't record the steps or the mileage, which is a bit useless, really.
Yeah.
So I switched to Strava, and it's what, $50 a year, £50 a year.
Yeah. Well, most people don't buy that, Stephen.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a free one. It's mostly free. Another one, I'm using one called Walk Right. And she sits on your shoulder and she says, walk fast for 2 minutes. Then that's a bing, bing, bing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Walk slow for 1 minute. And you don't know what's coming next. No, when you're a boxer, you don't know where it's going. Walk fast, walk slow, walk moderately. And it's really, really good. $20.
Yeah.
You can actually run the 2 at the same time. That's what I do.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't use too much of your battery power, do they?
No.
I mean, it's negligible. Yeah.
But having said that as well, though, I'm not a person that makes targets. Okay. However, with Walk Right, I haven't done it yet because of the COVID and everything. I'm not in the right frame, but she does get you going. I can tell you that much. Gets in your neck.
Okay, so walk right. Is that? I've got it. Just a minute. Just update that. Have I got it right?
Yeah, Walk Right.
Right. I wonder if there's an app called Walk Left as well.
No. I'll just look it up. I'll use our chat.
Right. Okay. Right. What's happening in Solihull, John?
It's raining.
It's raining?
Yes, which is
that's better than snow.
Which is a bit of a downer for the workers on the house next door because they're putting the roof on the garage, and it's pouring with rain.
So they stopped work.
These people bought the house and took possession on January the 7th last year.
Okay.
They still haven't.
Wow.
In.
Right. Because they want to get it right.
Well, that was the original theory. And then they employed and this isn't racist in any way, a Polish builder. and communication became the problem. And then the subbies came in and they built the front of the garage, and the pillar on the right and the pillar on the left don't line up. So it's all been knocked down, and he has a older gentleman who's redone all the brickwork, and now he's got well, there's 4 Indian fellas. They've all got turbans on, so I assume they're all Singhs. And they've done a marvellous job in 2 days so far. They started on Tuesday of getting the roof working and angled and shaped and all that stuff. And today they were supposed to put on the waterproof piece that goes underneath the tiles. And
right, okay,
the Polish bloke, when they came to tidy up, there were over 250 tins and bottles of beer, empty bottles of beer on the front lawn. These people who current team he's got now, they turn up, and whether that's the Indian guys doing the roof or the English gentleman who's been doing the beer, they turn up at 8:30, go at 5 o'clock, and work their socks off in between, except for a half-hour lunch break. So it's been chalk and cheese, but of course he ain't in, and he should have been in spring last year. I personally don't know how they can afford it, but
indeed. Right, okay. Anything happening in Parliament at the moment?
Bothered. I've given up worrying about it.
I don't think
large will do the best they can, and the circumstances are absolutely crap. So it's no good moaning.
Well, no. I mean, basically, we've seen the next Prime Minister on television quite a bit over the last 3 or 4 days, and she's supporting him openly and privately, plotting, and that's Liz Truss.
That's the usual, isn't it, in politics? I
don't think she'll be the next Prime Minister.
No. Do you know
who's your money on there?
My money's on the Chancellor.
Peter?
Do you know who's been very quiet? Michael Gove.
Yeah, he's got no chance though, has he?
Very quiet. Do you know who I would prefer to see? David Davis. I'd like to see him become the Prime Minister. Yeah.
But I think he's pretty sure that sorry, Peter.
No.
It's pretty sure that somebody else will become Prime Minister. I mean, we've got a Prime Minister at the moment who's under police investigation. And if there was a conference about the Ukraine, say in Germany, he couldn't go because he can't travel. Because he's under police investigation, he can't travel abroad. And to have that situation for a Prime Minister of the country is just incredible, really.
Is he as an individual under investigation, or is the department based at number 10 under investigation?
The answer to that is, I don't know. Yes, I think.
In which case, he can travel. But hey, he's above the law, isn't he? At least that's what he thinks.
Listen, it's a charade. I was hearing this morning that Tony Blair was in the same position a while back for cash for honours, you know? And it's a charade. We know it's happened. We know whether you're Liberal, whether you're Labour, whether you're SNP, within each party, something's been done wrong. They'll hunt them down. Everybody will probably have made that mistake. I know it doesn't look right. However, it's going to move on. He's actually getting quite a lot of backing in in from what I can see with the public. Yes?
Right. There obviously polls can't totally be relied on, but there have been polls which have said 49% of those people who voted for him wouldn't vote for him again.
Yeah. It depends who does the polls. That's the problem, because in the past recently, the polls have been abysmal. Abysmal.
Oh, in terms of accuracy.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Now the other thing that's happening at the moment. Oh, sorry. Something's been going on for 8 years, and all of a sudden, it's blown up, and that's, well, hopefully not. That's the Ukraine, with 100,000 Russian troops on the borders of Ukraine, and President Putin threatening to invade.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen, Peter?
Me. I think Russia will do the normal. They will push it to the limit. They'll put troops in the border, which I think they're doing. They'll push it to the limit. And just like when they were going to be sending missiles to Cuba, they pulled out at the last minute. And because there's going to be that friction in the border. But I've been looking at it a bit. But the problem is you've got people in Ukraine who are regarding themselves as Russian, just like some people in Scotland would prefer they have their own country. And Northern Ireland, some of them want their own country. It's the same situation there. So I think it'll be a lot of brinkmanship. Now, it could be the one that pulls our Prime Minister out of the proverbial, if he's seen to do well with this.
There is that. I mean, from a personal and a practical point of view, Belive main engineering center is in Kiev, in the Ukraine. So I'm basically staff are wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Belive users wondering what's going to happen. So
yeah, because the problem is that a lot of people don't know it. As you say, it's been going on for 8 years. There are people dying because they're soldiers going to the front line. Every day they're going up to the front line. I've happened to see it on Facebook or whatever, some films of people, journalists, going up to the front line, and they're using all sorts of stuff to go, people volunteering to go, and that's what's happening. But the world should really know about what's going on for the past 8 years. But we're all in our own bubble.
Well, we only get to know what they want to tell us, don't we?
Yeah.
The news is controlled. I too hope that some brinkmanship going on, Peter, and that both sides will stand down and reach an amicable settlement, because it is a lose-lose situation if Russia were to advance into Ukraine, and the Ukrainians, as you said, will fight back. It's
the big problem is Ukraine wants to become part of NATO, and that will terrify Russia if they get in as members of NATO.
And that's one of the conditions that Putin's put down, that Ukraine will never become part of NATO.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, the other interesting part, as you say, is Germany. They're sitting with their hands back, because he'll just say, do you want to have gas or don't you? Make up your mind.
Well, the US there's another pipeline coming through. The US have threatened to stop it. I mean, this affects us directly. We get a reasonable percentage of our gas supplies.
Yes.
Via Russia and the Ukraine. We're dependent on them, as are other countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an economic war as well as a
But the
battle.
laugh of it is, Joe Biden stopped his own pipeline, independent of the Russian one.
Yeah. And that was for environmental reasons, wasn't it? Or
Yeah, but it's cost him a lot of money, the actual American economy, and he's having to ask for fuel from another country.
and they should be self-sufficient, shouldn't they, as a country?
Absolutely. Absolutely, they should be self-sufficient. We should be self-sufficient. Nobody should have the power to cut off anything that keeps us secure. Yeah.
We had one of those rare days early this week where there was just no wind at all, and that meant that all the wind-powered turbines just didn't go around.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows that there could be problems if we were totally reliant on solar power and wind power.
Yeah. My cousin, he's a scientist, he was saying, he says, the problem is, Peter, what happens if they don't turn? They still need to get electricity. He says, that's why nuclear is better, you know? You got your nuclear facilities and you don't have to rely on the wind, you know? We've got loads of them off Aberdeen. Did you know that?
I can imagine so. Yeah, you've got. Yeah.
And today there's no wind.
I mean, if you go from England over to Holland, to the Hook of Holland, you see the farms, the wind farms along the way. Yeah, an amazing number. Right, who's that? Is that John or is that Peter?
No, it's my phone. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just trying to turn it down. No, I'd like to put out a post today. Do you know what day it is today?
It's Holocaust Day.
Yes. It's
I have to say that the symbol that you posted, when I quickly scrolled through, I thought, what's Peter doing something with the British Gas logo? It is so like the British Gas logo. It's not true.
Yeah. It's I downloaded it off their site and put it on because I've actually been to Belsen, you know. And what you've got to also remember, they were saying on TV, it's not just Jewish people. It was gay people. It was just Roma. It was homosexuals. It was anybody that Herr Hitler didn't like in his society. So there's a lot more than just Jewish people. Even teachers, I believe, just everybody. Should never happen again.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get it right. This camera, I will be back in a second. I know.
Okay.
I just got to keep still. If I don't move, then the camera should correct itself.
Can you not turn the autofocus off?
I could if I wasn't in the studio and live broadcasting, yes. But I don't think it's that actually, because I think I definitely remember actually switching that off. Let's have one more go.
Right.
Well, in that I can refresh, or
yeah,
I can hide that card, and I can do this.
Now, while you're doing that, there's another important day, and it's a Saturday. Do you know what day that's going to be?
No.
Well, when did you last look at your highway code? Because that is the day that Peter will be on his bicycle and it can go in the middle of the road. The middle. Did you know that? Is that a yes or a no, John?
Well, there are so many changes that haven't been communicated. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. But that, I mean, it's funny watching. We did mention this last week, didn't we? Yeah. So, but basically, it's on Saturday, and I happen to be doing a group leader on Saturday with my cycling club, and So it'll be interesting to see what's happening.
So,
but
when you're sitting in your driving seat, which hand do you use to open your door?
you use the left one. It's called the Dutch Reach. I haven't tried it yet. I've got to tell you that. There'll be so many people with creaked necks going to see physiotherapists.
So I'm supposed to reach over like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I take my eyes off what's going on in front of me and I turn sideways. I still don't turn my head far enough to actually see whether it's going to make any difference.
Yeah.
So I'm not convinced, but it's effective as of last Monday. And it's in the highway code. And the theory is if you don't do it, you can get fined and penalty points.
It is a joke, throwing it in like that. Wow. But is it law? Is it a must in the highway code? Or there's two words, must and what's the other word?
Advised, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm told it's a penalty points offence. Therefore, it must be a must.
What else are they going to penalise the motorist for and the cyclist for?
Not on a roundabout, a cyclist has priority over a motorist.
Well, I could agree with that because I was just telling someone the other day it was on this year earlier on that I was nearly wiped out on a roundabout, and it terrified me, John, because as I was going round to go left at the next junction, as I was crossing over, somebody come up on the right-hand side, and if I had been on that bit, I would have been wiped out as they went into their outside lane.
Well, yesterday I saw an idiot cyclist.
Yeah.
There's a dual set of traffic lights at the end of my road. So you've got a set of traffic lights and a second set of traffic lights, and they're actually timed to work with each other. But they're also timed so that every time they change, the walkway gets priority. Yeah. So both sets of traffic lights stay red.
Yeah.
Well, a cyclist came down the road opposite me, and because the cars were stationary on the other side, he just went straight across.
Yeah.
And in a young girl, because she had the right to cross the road. But he thought, I'm going through because their red traffic lights are on red.
No, well, that's wrong. Let me tell you what happened to me when I was on my cycle ride this week. Just down from me, there's a box junction that crosses over. There's a junction that crosses over the main drag out of Aberdeen, right? A dual carriageway. And I was on a dual carriageway crossing over it. Now, when you come to there, there's a cycle box, right? Red for me to go into with the cycle. Now, you come down the side of the road, right? The lights were red. So what I've then got to do is go over into the box and go over into the outside lane and stay at the edge. Here's why. Because on the left-hand side of me, there's a box for it, it's a big box. However, it's got a left filter lane, right? So if I stayed in the left-hand side, I was going forward, the cars would give me a hard time. So what you do is you go into the straight-on lane, and over, and you cross over and get back into the left. However, I mistimed it. I seen the lights were red, and I crossed over to get them. By the time I looked up again as it got into my position, they were already on green, and all give me a hard time. So that's just a position that I was going to where I should be, but the lights changed. I was doing it, and everybody was giving me a hard time.
Yeah, but you exercised your finger, didn't you?
No, I never do that actually. It just carry. I mean, I don't have much confrontation, and I just say it, Pipkin. I just say them. When did you last read the highway code then, mate? About this. Yeah, and especially when this is I was on, I don't know, I was on LBC last week speaking about this, and Andrew Castle's on the morning, and I was telling them about my cycling club. I says, what you got to realise is, I'm up here, I'm part of Cycling UK. No, Andrew Castle's a cyclist, he's a mammal, right? And I says, if you join it, you get insurance and legal cover. He says, well, I didn't know about that. I said, well, there you go. And so a lot of people are covered with insurance, even their house insurance for bikes. So when people say they should be insured, quite a majority of them are. Well, many of them are, you know. Because you've also got British Cycling, you've also got Cycling UK, and you've got people buy their own. I've actually bought extra because Cycling UK will cover you for third-party damage. There you go. That's my shout out for Cycling UK.
We've got to miss the sound somewhere.
Sorry?
There's a sound in the background somewhere. I'm not sure it's us, but I heard it. Unless I'm playing something in the tab, which is possible, of course.
Yeah.
No.
It sounds okay now, John. Stephen.
Right. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, I don't know whether you caught it, but I had an adventure broadcasting live early this week. When
it wanted its cheese.
Yeah.
Say that again.
My mouse.
His mouse jumped on the floor. Looking for cheese.
The mouse went. I hit the desk. The mouse fell on the floor. The battery compartment opened. The batteries scattered, all two of them, and I was live. And I had to continue talking whilst I was trying to put the darn thing back together again.
And we all watched him scrabble on the floor from the sideways camera.
Yeah, my head was on camera for a rare time when you actually see my head on camera. Yeah, it's not quite gone viral, but it was one of those bloopers that, well, I showed it to Angelica and she laughed her head off and said, can I post that on Facebook? And I said, yeah, okay then. So she did. Yeah.
Was this on Amazon Live?
No, fortunately it wasn't. It was just into the live video sales group, the half-hour show I do at 11:30. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and on Tuesday it was it was funny. It was genuinely funny because I was trying to find the battery. It was hiding under the desk, and then I put the batteries back in the wrong way around, so the mouse wasn't working. It just all went for about 3.5 minutes. It just all went wrong, and then we recovered. But yeah, the joys of live broadcasting. Things are going to go wrong. Anyway, talking about Amazon Live, Peter, we enjoyed ourselves last Friday.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's so much so that I says I better get into this because I like that sort of stuff. Now, talking about recovery, Stephen, I think it's probably you. Could you check if you're an admin in Pest Talk? John,
I can,
you're both now admins of Aberkill because the day of reckoning is coming where I might have to get rid of my personal Facebook page because it's went on long enough.
Yeah, it's been going on a long time, but yeah, I know I'm an admin of the page, and as soon as you need anything, then
are
just
you an admin of Pest Talk? I think you may be.
I think I may well be. I don't
want to lose that either. So,
no, yeah.
Okay, we'll look at that later. But I've got another phone. It's the day of reckoning. I've had enough of them, and I just might have to pull out.
Well, you can leave your original Peter Stewart account there while you set up your new Peter Stewart account.
Right.
So you can actually manage it, and then once you've finished, delete the old Peter Stewart account, John.
Ah, right.
Yeah, well, you could just leave it there forever, can't you?
Okay. It's never again. These passwords. There must be people throughout the country screaming with rage about passwords. Screaming.
No. All my passwords are safe in a password manager.
Yeah.
I lost that one as well. Makes me cry.
I've got the master password scattered about everywhere in disguise. So if anything, if I can't get back in, well, I can't. I got the fail safe for that.
I have my phone.
Say that again.
I have my phone. I have written my master password on a piece of paper and taken a photograph of it. So it's on my phone.
Right, that's good. Yeah.
Is that not dangerous? If somebody got your phone?
If somebody gets my phone, I'm sure they can get into plenty of other things if they really wanted to. But you do look after your phone, don't you, Peter? It's
I do.
And also, who's to know that it's in my photos? Yeah. And even if you go through my photos, it's just a load of digits.
Yeah.
It doesn't say this is the master password to my password manager.
I have done that. I've done it for something else. I won't mention what it was. But let me tell you about the gadget I got for my birthday. 2 gadgets.
Do you have it with you, Peter? Are you going to give a demonstration?
It's called the Tile. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
So I've got the Tile, one in my wallet, one on my keys, which is here. No, the other set of keys, and I have it. I can't do it here, but because they're both inside. But if I press it on here, right? I'll do that now. Hey Google, open Tile. So see if that opens. Right now. So you go where? I'll show you that. Look. Okay. And I go.
Okay. Yeah.
It's things I said. Sheila, where is my wallet? Where's my wallet? If you see it, have you moved it again? Right. And I click wallet. It's not coming up just now. So it'll say notify when found. Now, anybody that walks past that wallet, right? Anybody that walks past it silently tells me where it is. Did you know that? It does that, right? So it's not picked me up on the turn on Bluetooth. I haven't got my Bluetooth on. That would help. Wait, let's turn on my Bluetooth.
It's quite funny that you talk about this, Peter.
Yeah.
Because
carry on.
My son bought me a lapper 3 Christmases ago.
Yeah.
Which is really the same thing.
Yeah. Move around.
It's a little, you can't see because I'm not on screen, so.
Yeah, so basically that's it there.
Yeah.
There's a modern table, and what will be happening now in the house, the wallet will be making a noise, right? And I go done, and that's basically that. And I've got the same with the keys. Now, the other thing, what I'm famous for is, Sheila, have you seen my phone? Where's my phone? Is that a Tile?
No, that's a lapper.
A lapper.
This is the same concept 3 years ago, except they've gone bust.
Yeah.
Or been taken over, and that app has been removed from the App Store. As much use as nothing.
It's quite similar. And then the other thing I can do is I can press my key to find my phone. So good stuff. So that's and it has worked. Keep your Bluetooth on. Another thing to take your battery down. But yeah.
I've got an old
one, but people have been using them to track their girlfriends and everything without them knowing.
So
we're losing it in the background, John.
Put in front of you. That's it. Up. That's it.
And you can see that it's got the keys and the app, but it don't work anymore.
Oh.
It worked for 3 years, but it just this month stopped working.
And did you use it?
It was on the key ring.
Yeah, but did you use it? Did you need it?
No. Never used it in the 3. Used it as in, desperation, if you like. I've always been pretty sure where the ring full of keys is.
Well, I am very forgetful. And
if I can't find it, I've left it in my car.
Yeah.
It's usually
I've actually seen myself getting burnt out trying to find something, right? Burnt out. And it really burns me out. So I think Sheila has got me that gadget. Very good gadget. so far.
Well, this is my latest gadget, and it's the new camera, and it's the OBSpot, and I can do this.
I know, but you're ever so fuzzy, Steve.
Oh, I wouldn't speak about it just now because it's a terrible picture.
I'm going to refresh. You talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, so
where's our space correspondent? We haven't seen him for ages. Has he given up with us?
I think so. Fly me to the moon.
Because there's a big event happening at the moment.
Yeah. Still fuzzy, Stephen.
The SpaceX rocket from 2019, the tank, the booster tank, has just passed the moon and is on March the 4th is likely, well, expected to crash into the moon at the back, up the dark side. So I expected our space correspondent to be here to report on this situation.
Hello, Stephen, if you're looking later. Right.
No, we've not heard from him. We haven't heard from him for quite a while. Am I still fuzzy?
I'm afraid.
Better now.
Now,
right.
Now, it seems, like you said, it seems if you keep still for a few seconds, the picture comes back. But the moment you nodded your head, you went fuzzy again.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So let me tell you what I've done for my newest gadget for my business. We've bought a Real Link camera. And if we get a lot of problems where we don't know what it is. So what we're doing is, got the Real Link camera, it'll be put into a loft or something, and we can then look to see what the problem is. Hello? Yeah, we see what the problem is. And then once we've established what the problem is, then we can go and do some eradication. So that makes it safer rather than putting something down and we don't know what it is. So that's going to really help us. And we've got our electronic traps out today as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop, because I hope to get a whole new service with it. Right.
We seem to have a breaker on the side, or is it me? I keep hearing somebody else.
So do I. Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. Occasionally, I don't know what it is. I think it's some form of interference. Yes. Yeah. I don't think it's in our control. I don't think it's anything that we're doing. We just happen to have somebody else with us today.
Yeah.
Somebody could be testing the server. Yeah.
So what do you think of that service then, guys? Not only that, Andy can look in the morning if he wants. Anytime he wants, look into the camera live and have a look around.
So you're leaving it in somebody's loft?
Yeah, we'll leave it in the loft, and it uses a mobile. It's called a VSIM, and we'll leave it there. And we can look. Andy can look in the monitor if it triggers during the night, which it probably will do if it's a rat or a mouse. He then phones a customer in the morning and says, "Right, we've found out what it is. We'll come round, and now we'll be able to charge you more money to eradicate the problem." Because there's been a problem in the industry, getting called out and not knowing what's there. I mean, I once had a hedgehog come at me in the loft. A hedgehog. A pair of eyes coming towards me from the dark. Little hedgehog. So I think it'll be great for the industry. That's the way things are moving. Any new marketing things, John, that you can maybe tell us now about?
Nah, it's quiet at the moment.
Interesting.
On my main customer's website, we scaled back our budget in December. December was a very poor month for web orders. So
yeah,
I mean, it's never the best month, but it was really bad this year.
Well, I was
Yeah,
quite surprised, but I turned over in December. Very surprised on the up. And as I told you before, it's the biggest tax bill I've had and VAT bill for a long time. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to not having to pay class 4 contributions.
Do they stop when you reach 65?
66, yeah. So for this current tax year, I will have to pay contributions on 8 months, whatever it is. Yeah, 8 months.
Right, okay.
But after that, I won't have to pay any national insurance.
And the thing is, I don't think you're a big spender as well, are you, John?
Me? Oh, no. I don't turn over a huge sum of money these days.
No, you're saying, but what's a luxury to you now?
Well, I can't make my mind up whether to buy to have another car, a replacement car, or whether to spend money on the one I've already got.
Right.
So, changing the car would be a luxury, if you like.
Would you go for a lift?
I haven't been on holiday for years because of Celia's health.
Yeah, I was thinking
That's the point of going somewhere when she can't walk anywhere. So.
Oh dear. Yeah. So you're going to get an electric car?
Do you know, I would have an electric car. I would have no problem, but you can't get them.
Is that right? Yeah.
They're the same as every other car. They're on long lead times.
Yeah. Yeah, so crazy. Could your wife not get a car?
I looked at having a Kia. Flipping it, can't think of the model name at the moment. Yeah. The same one that. Do you remember our friend who does who did Don't Stream and Drive?
Yes.
Sergeant.
TCS.
Yes. Yeah. TCS.
Yeah. Well, he's got a Kia electric. He went to Scotland in it not long ago.
Okay.
7 months lead time on a new one.
All right. Well, I was the same from a van. I had to wait about 9 months to get a new van, and I'm glad I got it because it was a good deal. But how's that? If Celia can't walk, could she not get a car on disability?
No, I mean, she's got her own car. We bought when my mum passed away, she left us some money, and
Right.
we bought a new car for cash. It wasn't brand new,
Yeah.
but it only had 3,500 miles on the clock.
Yeah. Okay.
It was there. It's 6 years old now. And it still hasn't gone past 9,500 miles at 6 years of age.
I mean,
and it looks like new. And every time we take it to the garage to have it serviced, because it goes to the main dealer, because it's got 7 years warranty. It's a little sporty Kia thing.
Yeah.
And the salesman comes and says, I can give you fantastic money for that, because they know it's not been anywhere.
Yeah.
And it looks like it came out the showroom. And
I was just about to say,
it's not another year's warranty, so it'll it won't go until the 7 years warranty is up.
Yeah.
Having said that, mine is now over 9 years old. It's done 55,000, and I can't make my mind up whether to spend the best part of £1,000 to have it serviced and all the brakes done. It will need new discs soon, all the way around, which means new pads as well. And that's a £600 job, and a major service is 300 quid. So do I put £900 into the existing car or £900 into a new car? But the biggest problem is in the last 12 months, second-hand cars have gone up 28%.
Have they? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, now, I don't know why there's flickering there. See my green screen flickering? And I found out what they put. Remember, you would hear noises from my computer every so often.
Yeah.
You know what it was?
Well, that's usually the fan coming on because it's got too warm.
It was a loose. The cable wasn't in properly for my mouse at the back. It's just that wee bit out, and I lost my mouse the other day, and I went down and pushed it around properly, and yeah.
A mouse with a tail?
Sorry?
You've used a mouse with a tail?
Well, I can't get my. Here's the other problem. When I got this new computer, I couldn't get the Bluetooth mouse and the Bluetooth, what do you call it, keyboard to work. Story of my life. I wouldn't recognise it.
Are you sure they're Bluetooth?
Yeah, because I was using it before.
What, this sort of keyboard?
Yeah, John, I was using a Bluetooth. I was using the same keyboard before, but when I changed to this computer, it didn't work. That's why.
Most mice and keyboard are not Bluetooth, so
yeah,
wireless.
Indeed, part of the network.
So use our wireless, not Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. It's wireless.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are wireless.
I'll have to look it up again.
All you've got is a little dongle plugged in to a USB port.
Okay. Right. Well, there you go.
But so, there's a question that begs me. If you just said the mouse thing wasn't plugged in
properly,
do you have Bluetooth at all on the PC?
I think I have actually. Hold on. I'll put in Bluetooth. Oh. Yeah, because, well, I'll check. Yeah, fix problems Bluetooth. I think so. You're saying it could be wireless rather than Bluetooth, then?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Right, I may be buying new.
But if you're in doubt, next time you walk to Tesco's, Tesco's do a case 270 set, which is this, and a Bluetooth mouse, and a wireless mouse, and it's 24 quid, Peter.
And it uses your wireless in here.
No, it uses a dongle. I'm just pulling my dongle out.
It's a dongle, and it's going into the Wi-Fi. I've got one of them. I got one of them with it. Yeah, technology sometimes getting better at me. You know, I loved that advert. There was an advert where I was a little guy, you know, that waiting. I'm coming running in to all the IT guys who were having their coffee. And this is him. You run in with his computer, and this is him. And he's away to throw it out the window, and all the IT guys went, "Oh, whoa!" And it's typical. That's me. It's so frustrating when you don't know, you know. I mean, see, try to get the Facebook back. Some days I was about tears in my eyes. I was so mad. I don't know.
No, just take the plunge, Peter. Do it. We've decided this morning if you set up a second account, you can do it all without destroying your first one, and then delete the first one.
With the second account, would I have to change my name?
No.
Oh, you can't need the same name for the account twice.
Right.
But you can set the second one up as Peter the Great Mark II. Okay. Delete the first one and then change the name of the second account back to the original.
Right. Okay.
You just all you need, Peter, is an email address.
Right. So I'm not got a Google one, a new Google one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'll do. Right.
I mean, I have to say this, Peter. There are a lot of Peter Stewarts on Facebook.
I know.
So I don't think there's any problem with you using the same name, because every other Peter Stewart is.
Could I just say to you, never look up your own name in the internet.
Why?
Why not?
Well, the first one I seen was Peter Stewart. He was a pedo, and it wasn't me. I did get in touch with Peter Stewart's on Twitter. I said, I'm trying to get hold of all the Peter Stewarts that I can.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting to see the replies, see what Peter Stewart's are up to. And there is quite a lot of Peter Stewart's, you're right. There's a lot of Stephen Healy's.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
John Hopkins, there's some as well. So let me tell you what happened. I got in touch with Karen Stewart, who's not my relative, but she was related to Sheila through her husband. And I was sending messages. She said, what do you want? I says, I need your help. I says, could you put these guys on as admins for me, please? So she went and looked us up in my profile and put it on. So thanks very much, Karen Stewart. She's got Little Piggy Marketing up in Aberdeen. Okay, so I'll give her a plug there. And, yeah.
No, I basically I try and get Google to find me. So Stephen Amazon Live will find me on Google, and you'll see lots of videos.
Yes.
So yeah, Google is very handy for that. I've actually got Be Live and Amazon Live doing well in the search as well.
Well,
yeah. The best piece of fun, Peter, is to do Google search for your name and then click on images and see how many weird looking folk there are with the same name.
Another thing is, I forgot. I'm tired today now. Yeah, it's quite interesting. There was stuff. I'll tell you what. Something come up. Did you see the picture with the big eye looking at me? That thing with the big eye. Did you see that picture I put up the other day? I know you look at my Facebook.
Facebook hides things.
There was a picture with it's got a big eye. It's a character from a TV. Big eye. It's just an eye, really. And it's looking up me. And it came up on the day that I had my eye problem. This big eye looking up at me. It was a good picture, actually. I quite enjoyed it. So you're saying you don't see all my posts then?
No, not by a long way.
I saw that post.
Sorry?
Yeah. I saw that post.
Aye. I quite enjoyed it. I thought, that's funny, that. And sometimes you do go back to the memories and go, oh, I do remember that.
I mean, what you see is determined by how many people you follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And therefore, because I'm following 5,000 people, I see probably about 5% of those, but I rarely see 2 posts from the same person.
Yeah. And I've been looking, I look at things, and do you know that CNN, their viewership has dropped 90%? 90.
Yeah. Basically, people watching Netflix and Amazon Live, and I just want to have my own moment. I'm going to have a rant. Just a minute. I'm just waiting until I go. On Amazon Live, there is the ability to watch box sets of videos. So you can watch series 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of any of the series that are actually on Amazon Prime. But the thing is, what tends to happen is that the first series is free to watch, okay? And you watch the first series, and then you suddenly come to a cliffhanger at the end of series 1. You say, right, I'll watch series 2. And Amazon say, $17.99, please. And you say, what? And the number of times this happens where you actually, I mean, there was a series we were watching called The Good Doctor. And we actually watched the first 4 series, but the next 2 series, you had to pay for them. Now, of course, by series 4, you're actually sucked in. So I don't think this is fair marketing tactics, because you shouldn't have to check out, oh, I'm going to watch this box set. At what point do I start paying? Yeah, shouldn't even be in the equation. If a series is free at the beginning, it should be free all the way through. That's just
feel you're paying. No, 2 things. I'm the same. I'm on Amazon Prime, but I still pay for some things. No, I put my phone in my pocket the other day. I put it in my pocket. And next thing, thank you for joining What's the one where we read books at Kindle Unlimited? I said, never. Guess what? I'd hit a button, someone Kindle Unlimited. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I started reading books. And I had a look. So I looked at this. I said, I fancy that book. And this is about a true story about a guy in a prisoner of war camp, his friend. He knew German, this guy. He was British. And he said to the other guy with him, 3 hours a night, they practiced German. 3 hours a night, they practiced German. And then they made their escape. No, they didn't go where they thought they would go to. They actually headed on trains and everything and went to Berlin. And I just started the story. And so they completely fooled him. And they both, and as they were going along, they were sitting in cafes and everything, picking up information. And then obviously they eventually escaped. And that story was lying in his son's old book, an old bag of his dad's. And it wasn't until he retired that he started looking at it. And I thought, wow, imagine teaching somebody 3 hours a night and going in and come. They thought they would head for the border. They never found them. They went up to Berlin on trains and everything, which I thought was excellent. But anyway, I had to pay for the book. I thought I was on Unlimited. What's that about?
It's unlimited. You can read the book. Well, yeah, anyway. Let's explore that. John, it's over to you.
Oh, it's that time already. Blimey. Well, I guess Mr. Scotland wants to go away and read his book that he's bought that he didn't want to buy. A man in Wiltshire, he wants to go for another walk. I watched him walk round and round his town the other day on Strava, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, me walk? No, that's what got a car for, isn't it? Yeah. And I have got 2 bikes, but neither of them have seen the light of day for at least 3 years, Peter. So, from the unfit person in the West Midlands, it's goodbye from the fit person up in Scotland and the fit walker down in Wiltshire. And we'll be here again, same time, same place, next week. Bye.
Bye.
How?